2 years later, plenty is happening 2,500 miles to the west in Hawaii.
Well, to tell you the truth, Joe was a little more aggressive than I was. I remember when he came in and he said, well, I think we ought to get a deal in Honolulu. And when I first came to Honolulu, I just looked around, and I said, my God. Well, then the problem was to crack the big five. You know, they don't let anybody in over here. Then real estate-wise, we couldn't get anything. They wouldn't touch us. So we went behind the scenes and took the downtown location.
I went to Honolulu, made the lease, went to the best-known architect in town. He said, look, I don't have time. I said, I don't need you. You just give me a draftsman, an engineer, the name they'll recognize, and I'll design the building, which I did. It was the first air-conditioned building in Hawaii.
With the site secured and the store constructed, all that remains is to open the doors. One of Long's most successful chapters is about to be written.
I decided one morning we're going to open. No one would come in the store. So there were thousands of people out there. I grabbed the first Hawaiian lady and I gave her a box of candy, invited her in to see the store.
Long's second store in Oahe opened in the Ala Moana Shopping Center.
I worked with the opening of the Ala Moana store. The opening team consisted of Norm Adams as store manager, Ben Salvador as assistant store manager, and I was at the bottom.
Bob was young then. Since he was the youngest, he had to do some of those menial duties. Like when we first opened Ala Moana, we didn't have water yet. So he had to fetch a pail of water outside about like 100 yards away from the receiving department. And you can just imagine if someone had used the restroom and to flush that thing, it requires at least a couple of buckets.
This was a big investment for us to open the second store in Hawaii, but it did take longer than was expected to get the volume up to where we wanted it.
But the volume did increase, and today, Ala Moana is successful beyond the wildest imaginations of 1959.
And you go to Ala Moana, and they've got one guy in charge of the second shelf on the toilet table, you know. Another guy's in charge of the bottom shelf.